Welcome to Mind Psychology Daily, where we explore the intricacies of the human mind and delve into the depths of psychological concepts that shape our lives. Today, we're going to tackle a question that has puzzled philosophers and psychologists for centuries: what happens when we avoid dealing with our emotions? Can we truly escape the consequences of our emotional avoidance, or does it have a hidden cost that we're not aware of? To answer this question, we're joined by the one and only Jordan Peterson, a renowned psychologist, author, and professor who has spent his career studying the human psyche. Jordan Peterson is known for his thought-provoking ideas and his ability to break down complex psychological concepts into simple, yet powerful, language. He's the author of several best-selling books, including 12 Rules for Life and Maps of Meaning, and has become a leading voice in the world of psychology and personal development. So, let's dive into the world of emotional avoidance and explore its hidden costs with Jordan Peterson as our guide. As we begin this journey, it's essential to understand that emotional avoidance is a common phenomenon that affects us all. We've all been there, avoiding a difficult conversation, sidestepping a painful memory, or distracting ourselves from a nagging feeling. But what are the consequences of this avoidance, and how can we break free from its grip? Jordan Peterson is about to share with us some profound insights that will challenge our perceptions and inspire us to take action. According to Jordan Peterson, emotional avoidance is a fundamental aspect of the human experience. We all have a tendency to avoid dealing with our emotions, especially when they're painful or uncomfortable. But this avoidance comes at a cost, and it's a cost that we often don't recognize until it's too late. As Jordan Peterson puts it, the greatest discovery of any generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. But what happens when our attitude is one of avoidance, rather than confrontation? To illustrate this point, let's consider a story. Imagine a person who has been struggling with anxiety for years. They've tried various coping mechanisms, from meditation to medication, but nothing seems to work. One day, they meet with Jordan Peterson, who asks them to confront their anxiety head-on. He encourages them to explore the root causes of their anxiety, rather than just treating its symptoms. This process is not easy, but it's essential for true healing and growth. As Jordan Peterson says, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. By confronting our emotions, rather than avoiding them, we can begin to live a more authentic, meaningful life. But this requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to face our fears. So, what are the root causes of emotional avoidance, and how can we overcome them? Let's explore this question further as we delve into the psychology of emotional avoidance. As we explore the psychology of emotional avoidance, it becomes clear that this phenomenon is deeply rooted in our culture and our society. We live in a world that often encourages us to avoid dealing with our emotions, rather than confronting them. We're told to stay positive, be happy, and don't worry about it. But this approach can be damaging, as it prevents us from dealing with the underlying issues that are causing our emotional pain. As Jordan Peterson says, the line between good and evil is not between us and them, but between our ears. In other words, the greatest battle we face is not with external enemies, but with our own inner demons. To overcome emotional avoidance, we need to develop the courage to confront our emotions, rather than running away from them. This requires a deep understanding of ourselves and our motivations, as well as a willingness to take responsibility for our lives. It's not always easy, but it's essential for true growth and transformation. So, how can we apply this insight in our daily lives? How can we begin to confront our emotions, rather than avoiding them? Let's consider a simple yet powerful exercise. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your emotions. Ask yourself what you're feeling, and why. Be honest with yourself, and don't be afraid to confront the uncomfortable truths. By doing so, you'll begin to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your emotions, and you'll be better equipped to deal with the challenges that life throws your way. As we continue on this journey of self-discovery and transformation, it's essential to remember that overcoming emotional avoidance is a process that takes time, effort, and patience. It's not something that we can achieve overnight, but rather something that we need to work on consistently. So, what are some practical steps we can take to overcome emotional avoidance? First, we need to develop a greater awareness of our emotions and our thought patterns. This involves practicing mindfulness, self-reflection, and introspection. By doing so, we can begin to recognize when we're avoiding our emotions, and take steps to confront them. Second, we need to develop a growth mindset, rather than a fixed mindset. This involves embracing challenges, rather than avoiding them, and seeing failures as opportunities for growth and learning. Finally, we need to surround ourselves with people who support and encourage us, rather than those who enable our avoidance. By taking these steps, we can begin to break free from the grip of emotional avoidance and live a more authentic, meaningful life. As Jordan Peterson says, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. In other words, let's focus on our own personal growth and development, rather than trying to change others or the world around us. As we come to the end of this journey, it's essential to remember that overcoming emotional avoidance is a lifelong process. It's not something that we can achieve once and for all, but rather something that we need to work on consistently. But the rewards are well worth the effort. By confronting our emotions, rather than avoiding them, we can begin to live a more authentic, meaningful life. We can develop deeper relationships, achieve greater success, and cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So, what are you waiting for? Take the first step today, and start your journey of self-discovery and transformation. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest releases. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. As Jordan Peterson says, the future belongs to those who are willing to confront the darkest aspects of their own nature. Let's face our fears, overcome our anxieties, and unlock our true potential. If this video helped you understand yourself or someone around you better, subscribe. New psychology insights every single day.